The Hangout on Air is live. Hi, it's a couple minutes early. I just thought I'd check in and say hello. Hello, Dan. Dan is watching, listening through the NosillaCast app, I believe. Video says starting soon. Kevin is always a little bit behind. But I think it's about 30 seconds until it gets started, and I started at 4:58. I have somebody new in the live chat room, Nuris Coronado. Hello, Nuris Coronado. What's your real name? 40-second delay to get the hangout going. Okay. Steve is cheating. Steve is cheating because he gets real time. He gets me real time on every channel. Am I up on every channel? This is so weird. I have to do so much less work because I'm not using Wirecast Studio. So I can, all right, Kevin is there. We are live. All right, it is 4:59, so I will just dance for 30 seconds and then we'll do roll call. Looks like everybody's out in the sun. Actually, this is a very special drink. This is from the Belmont Brewing Company. It is a Long Beach Crude Dark Ale. Lindsay bought it, or Kyle bought it for Lindsay and Nolan for their wedding shower, where we had a beer tasting, but they forgot to take it, and so we get to drink it. Yeah, it's pretty chewy. I kind of like it though, Steve. I should take a snapshot. Let me do I'll do a snapshot of my, oh, I can't do that. That takes too many hands. Let's see if I did. I know what I could do. Here we go. I'll do this Google Hangout on Air, and I'm going to take a screenshot, a timed screenshot of me drinking this. I'll turn around this way. Oh, well, that was spastic. I'm trying to take a screenshot, timed screenshot of the Google Hangout on Air live so I can show Lindsay that I was drinking this beer. Here we go. Okay, it looks stupid for everybody else, but anything for my daughter. That's to prove to her that I drank this on air. And I'll put this on my desktop and play with it later. All right, well, welcome to the show. Anybody who is new here is going to think that I'm just being idiotic here, but it is time for roll call. We have a very small chat room today, but they appear quite enthusiastic. We've got Donald and Steve and Barry and Kevin and Dan and Joel. Joel, oh, the minion is here, and Kirshen and Nuris Coronado. Ooh, Deverell sneaks in at the very last minute there, and SP Sheridan there. All right. With that drink, I give Allison 20 minutes. Yeah, that's a good point. We don't know what the alcohol content of this particular beer is, do we? Well, it is hotter than heck here at our house. It is 81 degrees inside the house right now. I've got a fan going. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. Let me do a little test recording and do some playback from GarageBand. Make sure you can hear everything. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com. All right, and here's playback. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com. Can I get a confirmation that you can hear that? Jim Sewell, we have not seen you in ages. How you been, buddy? It's been a while. Oh, I have to do my save as while you guys are going to tell me whether you hear that. NosillaCast audio. NC 2014 08 let's see, 31. Has anyone not gotten the taken advantage of the Clarify 2 coupon, because it expires today. Today is the last day. All right. If you have not bought your upgrade to Clarify 2, it is Nosilla-C2. Nosilla, all capital letters, -C2, all capital letters. It expires tomorrow. I'm probably not even going to talk about it on the show, because if anybody who listens tonight, they won't get it. Or if they don't listen enough, they would get it. Oh, used Moom. I just started using Moom. BCA? It's BCA, Joel. Oh, sorry. Playing with my contact lens. I wear contacts that rotate, and I have to stick my fingers in my eyes every once in a while to get it to see. All right. Playback is good. Sounds good. Hangout. And Jim Sewell's doing great. Okay, we're all good. Here we go. Let's go ahead and start the show. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever-so-slight Macintosh bias. Today is Sunday, August 31st, 2014, and this is show number 486. Steve and I had a blast this week. We went on a great trip to Kings Canyon and Sequoia National Parks with the professors, Marianne of Induced Memory fame and her partner Devin. We were really out in the wooded mountains, which meant that for 5 days we had no cell service at all and virtually no internet service. I say virtually because the rustic hotel right on the South Fork River in Cedar Grove where we were staying had sort of fake internet. Around 6 to 7 a.m., the porthole to the real world would open up just long enough to squeak in a few text messages, maybe an email or two, and then just close right up. One of the women working there tried to convince me that it was because someone was hogging all the bandwidth doing videos. But I mean, seriously, we couldn't get a text message out, so I don't think anybody was downloading videos. Anyway, we decided we'd suffer along with this and go for hikes in the meadows with giant cliff mountains surrounding us, listen to the birds chattering away, and sit with our feet in a cold stream at the end of the day. It was horrible. It's just awful. Luckily, I'd done some work ahead of time, and with some help from some of my friends, we still have a great show for you. I mentioned last week that I upset the universe by buying a Windows phone. You may be wondering whether I had some sort of psychotic episode that caused this, but I really did have some good logic on why I went ahead and did this. I had learned from Chris Ashley on the SMR podcast that Nokia, also known as Microsoft, was selling the Nokia 635 for only $100 off contract. He said it was a decent phone, and I figured for that price, I could use it as an iPod Touch and learn about the device and the operating system with a very low commitment. It would have been even more fun if I had taken my SIM card out of my iPhone and really committed to the phone, but they take different size SIMs. I want to mention that Joel Rushworth, one of the minions, what Chris Ashley calls his minions, has been super helpful to me, telling me all kinds of cool stuff. And just this afternoon, he told me that I could have gotten a nano SIM to micro SIM adapter. I might still do that, see if I can make it till the iPhone 6 comes out by using a Windows phone. As I said last week, I do not hate this phone. If I were looking for my first phone and I didn't have an investment in one of the other platforms, I would definitely put the Nokia 635 in the running. The build quality of the device appears to be quite good, and it even survived a 2 to 3 foot fall to concrete without a scratch. The screen is a bit bigger than the iPhone, and it's bright and crisp. I know it's not supposed to be a high-end phone, but it feels at least as good as an iPhone in my hand. I was very pleased that I had no trouble figuring out how to do the basic things in Windows 8 Phone 8.1. I very easily figured out how to connect it to my network, how to add my email accounts. A little harder to figure out how to rename them. They called them Gmail and Gmail 1, but I did figure that out eventually. I searched everywhere for how to add contacts, not realizing that adding the email accounts already did that for me automatically. That was pretty cool. By experimentation, I figured out how to unpin stupid AT&T crapware from the home screen and how to pin stuff I did want to the home screen. Here's a distinction from Android. You can permanently delete the crapware on Windows Phone, which you can't do on Android. I easily figured out how to move and resize the tiles. It was very intuitive. The tiles can be small squares, small rectangles, or big squares. This makes it really easy to get access to the stuff you care about quickly. Now, since I didn't have a cellular plan with this phone, I couldn't make phone calls. But is that really in the list of things we care about anymore? I connected my Windows account to Skype, and I was able to easily make phone calls over Skype the one time I wanted to try it out. I think one of my favorite things about Windows Phone 8.1 is that the built-in keyboard shows you capital letters when you hit the caps key, and lowercase letters when you don't have the caps key hit. Now, how hard would it be for Apple to give us that, for crying out loud? Marianne from New Zealand is often ranting about this, and I have to agree. I imagine the first keyboards we see in iOS 8 will simply have this feature and nothing else. What would you pay? I'm going to stop while that plane goes by, that helicopter goes by. Beiju is here. Holy cow. Will, how are you? We haven't seen you in 100 years. I love how people come and go and then just come back. It's fun. It's fun people just come back. This is very cool. Oh, cool. Nurse is a voiceover user. Very cool. Well, we're going to chat about voiceover a little bit here. Let me see. What did I just last say? That helicopter's gone? What would you pay? Okay, I'd pay like $5 for a keyboard that did that. Okay, let's see. Oh, who's talking about? Let's see. Windows Phone has built-in autocomplete, but does it completely differently from iOS. When you start typing a word, it shows you possible matches to what it thinks you're about to type. Tap the word that you like, and it's autocompleted. This does require you to stop typing and look up above the keyboard, so for those who are really good at typing on tiny little keyboards, this wouldn't be a huge feature, but I figure there's only 3 of you out there anyway, so it is a big feature. I noticed one time it even correctly predicted the words I was going to type, simply from the context of the words I'd already typed. I wrote, "Does this make?" and Windows Phone offered the word "sense," correctly completing my thought. I thought it was very cool. I have been messing around with iOS 8 in the last couple of days, and they sort of do the same kind of thing, but I think it's actually working a lot better in Windows Phone, so I hope it gets better in iOS 8 than it is right now. It very often didn't know what word I was trying to type, maybe 95% of the way typing through the word, while Windows Phone seems to predict it almost every time. Now, some of the native apps on Windows Phone have trouble displaying the titles, cutting them off to the right. In some cases, they do use this technique to show you that there's more information to the right, but it happens incorrectly in the native email application, so you can't read the name of the person from whom the email comes. What? Comes? That's not what I meant to say. Now, okay, let's cut that off. Michelle is here too. Wow, it's a party tonight. We got the old band to get back together with Will and Jim and Michelle. This is very fun. Thank goodness Mark isn't here. What excuse does he have now? All right. Some of the native apps on Windows Phone have trouble displaying the titles, cutting them off to the right. In some cases, they use this technique to show you that there's more information to the right, but it happens incorrectly in the native email application, so that sometimes you can't read the name of the person from whom the email has come. This happens because the font is too big, and I didn't see an obvious way to fix it. I hadn't turned on giant text or anything like that, so I'm not sure why the default would be dumb like that so that you can't actually read the name of the person from whom the email has come. Two-fingered pinch to zoom in and out works really well on Windows Phone, especially in email. I set up 3 different email accounts on the phone, and it created 3 separate tiles for the 3 accounts, which I really don't like. It's not a unified inbox. I go into Mail and I read all of them together normally, and I would have preferred one app with all 3 accounts. Maybe I'm weird that way. Perhaps most people like to have their accounts separated. It's not a huge deal, but it's not the way I would have chosen to have it. I mentioned earlier that Windows Phone uses the technique of having words go off screen to indicate more information. One of the places this works well is in Mail. At the top, you can see All, Unread, and Urgent, inviting you to scroll to the right to change the mode. I really like this method of changing what I'm reading. The only problem is that the unread mode isn't just unread email. I never figured out what it was, but it seemed to be showing me something different than All, but not unread, because it seems to me after I've read everything, shouldn't it be empty? I don't know. Not quite sure what it was doing there. I didn't test any other third-party mail apps, so maybe there's better ones out there. This was just what was built into the phone. I love how Windows Phone puts my day's appointments on the lock screen. Like today, it said, NosillaCast Live at 5 p.m. Pacific Time. I would like it even better, though, if it wasn't fishing through my Facebook contacts to get their birthdays and plopping those on my home screen. In fact, it gives me an alert about it. See, my problem is that with Facebook, I say yes to everybody who wants to be my friend. So seeing everyone's birthday is a mess for me. This isn't just my real life friends. These are all my virtual friends. People, maybe I've never even talked to them before, but they are, I don't know, they like the show or something and they want to be pals. They want to see the garbage that I put up on Facebook, which is really inane. But I'm getting everybody's birthday. I mean, I love you all. Really, I love you, but don't want to know when it's your birthday. I think Microsoft should give you an option to see Facebook info or not. I was a bit annoyed that it decided this for me. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe Facebook did that on its own. I did search through the settings and I found notifications, and I was able to turn off Facebook in its entirety, which is better than nothing, but just shutting off the dumb birthdays would have been nicer. I do like how it actually notifies me of Skype conversations and WhatsApp conversations. For some reason, I cannot get iOS to reliably give me notifications on those two apps. I've done everything I can to get them to say, no, I really want to know. If somebody talks to WhatsApp to me, I want to know. If somebody talks to Skype, I want to know. But no, it won't do it. Now, as much as I like being able to change the tile sizes and move them around easily on Windows Phone, I really don't like the tiles at all. You get two kinds of tiles, those that are a single color so that you can't distinguish them from each other unless you read the name of the tile, and heck, sometimes it doesn't even tell you the name of the tile, and the others are those that have random images bouncing around on them. There's a people tile that's your Facebook friends with tiny randomly chosen profile photos rotating in and out. Super distracting and annoying, but at least it's not bland blue or orange or whatever color scheme you've chosen. It's ugly and bland on one hand and distracting on the other. I hate it. I should mention, you don't get to choose that one tile is like a bland blue and one's a bland orange. They're either all blue or all orange. I really do hate it. The Nokia 635 came with its own micro USB charger, but I didn't bother with that at first. I just used an iPad 10-watt charger I had plugged in. It's 5 watts and 2 amps. Surprisingly, the Nokia 635 announced that if I insisted on using this inferior charger, it would charge very slowly, and I really should consider using the real one. Looked at the real one. It was 5 watts, 750 milliamps. So 3/4 of a milliamp instead of 2 amps. I do not understand why a 10-watt charger isn't considered good enough for this little phone, but since I was leaving it charging all night, I didn't worry about it. I suspect that Nokia must be looking to sell more accessories. That's the only reason it would have said that. I am not a fan of proprietary charging, so I do hope this is just a fake message like I think it is. It's common knowledge that Microsoft is caught in a chicken and the egg situation with their App Store. Adoption of Windows Phone is hampered by a lack of apps, but app developers are not flocking to write apps because there's no users to buy them. I went into this experiment with an open mind and assumed that a lot of the big players would be absent. What I found was a little more disturbing. Let me walk through this by example. I went to the App Store to look for Google+. Now, this may have been a mean test to start with because Google, writing for Microsoft, I don't know whether that would happen, but it did show me something interesting. I had my choice of many different Google Plus apps. I chose one that had hundreds of reviews with an average of 4+ stars. It was intuitive how to install the app, and I was not challenged at any point with my Microsoft password, which was kind of a relief with a free app, I gotta tell you. But this app was horrible. It had pop-up ads all over the place, and it was virtually unusable as a result. I went back to the store to verify that it had high ratings, and I looked at the reviews. They were pretty much fewer than 5 words each. They said things like, works great, like it, fine app. Makes me think that the rating system is either fake or, I don't know, people are overcompensating and they're saying, well, all this stuff is junk. We better, like the stuff that isn't just horrible junk might be a little better. I don't know. I went looking for a podcast app and I found one, again, highly rated by hundreds of people, called Casts. I downloaded it, searched for my own show, and I was able to subscribe. So far, so good. At some point, though, I tapped something that made my podcast alone be pinned to my start page on Windows Phone. So I didn't pin the app to my homepage, I pinned my podcast to the homepage, and I'm not really sure how that happened. Well, no worries. I hit play and I tested and it worked out. There was only one problem. There was no stop button. I'm not joking. I could not figure out how to make the darn thing stop. There was no pause, no stop. Play was it was playing and that was it. I finally shut the phone down to get it to stop. I learned later from Joel how to actually kill an app, and I could have done that, but at the time I didn't know how to kill an app. I looked at the app again later, and the play button successfully turned into a pause button the second time. So maybe that's an aberration. But there's more. Now that I have subscribed to the NosillaCast, I cannot, for the life of me, figure out how to subscribe to a second podcast. The only option I can find that's under the ellipsis symbol is the option to share my choice of podcasts with someone else via email. That's a good thing I picked my own show because all I can do is share it with you. So again, I asked the question, how can an app that performs this poorly get 4.5 stars with 298 reviews? Well, only if these reviews are completely fake or possibly, again, because the bar is set so low for apps in the App Store. Now, I do have to say that Joel downloaded the same app called Cast and was able to subscribe to multiple podcasts. But I've showed this to Steve, and he can't figure out how to add a second podcast either. So I don't know. Maybe I somehow made a mutant version of the app that is only my podcast. I don't know how to get to the real app though, because it's the only thing I have. Well, next I thought I'd look for LastPass. I stopped dead in my tracks. If people can make apps that claim to be Google Plus but aren't Google Plus, then how do I know that LastPass is really by LastPass? It said that LastPass was the developer, but my one bad experience made me terrified to enter my most precious last password into an app from the Microsoft Store. I mentioned on a previous show that Chris Ashley has this group of buddies. I talked about this a minute ago, about his affectionately referred to minions. Again, one of the most helpful minions is Joel Rushworth, and he sent me a message telling me an interesting, if very arcane, way to get the real LastPass. He sent me a link to WPCentral.com where they had reviewed a few apps, one of which was LastPass. On that page, they have QR codes, so you can scan them in via your phone to install them. Well, that sounds really cool when you say it that way, but if you think about it, it's really convoluted. Here you are with a mobile device, but you have to use a real computer to bring up the web page because you can't scan a barcode with a phone using the phone's own browser, right? That's not going to work. Not only that, but scanning is accomplished via the Bing Vision utility, which is available inside the camera app, but you have to choose the lenses option to get to it. Like I said, it's pretty cool that you can install apps by pointing your phone at your computer screen, but I'm holding a mobile phone in my hand right now. Why would I need a computer to do all that? Again, I do appreciate Joel helping me with this, and I don't mean to mock it, but I can't help but think about Scott Stratton's book, QR Codes Kill Kittens, where he does mock this exact and precise use of QR codes. All right, I'm going to take a pause here. I've missed a lot. Oh, Brett's here. The party's really heating up tonight. Ooh, an NC23583. How are you? Okay. Nurse is only seeing messages she wrote than everybody else's. Any idea why? Did anybody help her? Dan, I don't know how she's gotten in would be a question. Is she using the web chat? Oh, she left. And Rose is here. Hi, Rose. G'day, boys and girls. Have her join again. It's Shardy time. Not in Hobart, huh? All right, Kevin's back. Let's see. Brett is in the house. Yeah, 10:15 a.m. Gotta wait till that sun's over the yardarm. Ooh, we've got a flash flood warning and a tornado warning? Yikes. Sorry I'm late. It's good that you understand, Brett, that you were tardy. I do appreciate that. Well, I could move this up here because you guys aren't looking at that, and that way it looks like I'm looking at you when I'm reading the chat room. Let's see. iPad mini, I have the video on one side, chat room on the other side. Cool. All right. Look at China. Poppy got online with Safari. That's interesting, Steve. It's not working in Chrome. Is anybody else being able to see it in Chrome live on podfeed.com/live? All the reviews were written by the developer and her family. Barry says, yeah, well, but it's like 400, 200, 300 kind of, there's no way anybody spend that much time. Yeah, Rose. There may be a way we can get the old feedback. I think if I do a Google event, if I schedule an event, then inside the event I can declare it live. I can put a live show inside of it. If I do that, I think sometimes, maybe, then I can put the old feed in that gives you all three panes and watch the whole thing. Unfortunately, it doesn't always show up, so that's kind of strange. I'm not sure. Oh, that's me, Podfeed, testing the live page. Okay, that you were that errant person. Okay. I can flip back and forth. I can do things like this. Here, Rose, I'll show you what I can do. One of these buttons, was it this one? Yeah. Where's the chat? Where's the chat? Oh, I could show all my glop. That's ridiculous. Oh, here we go. Share. There, now you're just seeing the live chat. I can do that. Let me use colloquy to chat in here. Okay, good. I'm glad you got back in, Nurse. This is good. So I can do things like that, Rose. So unfortunately, I can show an entire screen, but I can't show like me in a little window below that. I might be able to get that back. We'll see. It's a little bit strange. Okay. So is Will having any trouble? Oh, Chrome, everything's working. Okay, cool. All right. All right, so that's what the chat looks now. Hang out in the other one. Allison takes a drink. It looks like she's double fisting them. Oh, hi, Tesla. All right, dog came to visit. Okay, let's go back to, how do I get me back? I forget. I do that. There we go. There we go. Tesla. I know everybody loves to see my dog. Oh, there's a tail. All right, we should keep going. We're not done talking about Windows Phone yet. We're just coming up on the accessibility stuff. All right. Maybe I should save. Kevin, you don't yell save anymore. Oh, you like my shirt, Steve? Don McAllister bought me this shirt. I'm not going to do an exhaustive review of the camera, but I'd say it's a mid-range camera. Nothing to write home about, but it gets the job done, at least outdoors. You can install the Nokia camera software, which is really cool. It lets you modify the white balance, aperture, shutter speed, ISO, and more before taking the picture, just like the big boy Nokia 1020. I don't have high expectations for a $100 phone, and you'll be really, really happy. I also didn't get a lot of time to play with Cortana yet, so I don't want to go on too much about it just yet. Cortana is the equivalent of Siri. Maybe if I get more time later, I can give it more of a ring out. I did find a setting in networks to turn off Wi-Fi until I'm near my favorite networks. How cool of an awesome battery saver is that? I thought that was really cool. I know I'm jumping around a little bit here, but there's just these little things that I've been playing with that are really useful. Kevin Berry challenged me to talk about the blind accessibility features in Windows Phone, specifically because he was under the impression that Windows Phone 8.1 is completely inaccessible to the blind. Now, luckily, he's wrong about the word completely. When I went into settings and under ease of access, I found something called Narrator. I turned it on, and just like with VoiceOver, the phone read out loud to me everything I touched. It told me what was a button and what I could do with it, like double tap to open. I was able to navigate back to the home screen and then double tap on mail. I was able to open mails. I was able to read them. From the list of emails, before you actually open them, it read them out loud in their entirety. If I opened them, sliding my finger on screen would read them line by line. So it actually worked a little bit better when I didn't have them open, which is kind of counterintuitive. Now, scrolling is supposed to work with 2 fingers, but it was unreliable. Sometimes it would work great. I could scroll with 2 fingers, and sometimes it would do nothing at all. That's an important feature to have work consistently. As usual, I am not an expert on accessibility, but within my small skill set in testing VoiceOver, it seemed that Narrator has at least some of the basic features required to operate it without sight. I didn't find anything like the rotor that's used to enhance navigation, but as far as reading things out loud, I didn't find too much that didn't work. Biggest thing was the fact that scrolling was limited. I think they've made a good amount of progress, because from my blind friends, it didn't work at all before. There was nothing at all, so I think they're on the right path. Certainly not as far along as Apple, but they're definitely working in the right direction, I think. All right, it's time for my first 2 weeks bottom line assessment. I'm going to go beyond I don't hate this phone and say, I like this phone. I really do. Beyond the physical phone itself, the OS is intuitive, it's responsive, even on this very inexpensive phone, and I find certain things delightful, like how consistently it gives me my notifications. I dislike the App Store intensely, but from talking to Joel, I have learned that Microsoft is really attacking the problem of bad apps and cleaning out the worst offenders. Someone sent me a link, and now I'm forgetting who it was. I apologize. Someone sent me a link to an article about how Microsoft just removed 1,500 apps that were misleading, I think they called them. So, would I buy this phone? No, but you knew that going in. Well, actually, technically, the answer must be yes, because I did buy this phone. But would I buy this phone as a normal person? You know, I'm a card-carrying Apple fan who didn't even give up an Apple when they were weeks from bankruptcy. Would I recommend this phone to someone getting their first phone, or maybe on a tough budget, I definitely would. For a phone that requires no contract so you can pay as you go, I think it's fabulous. Maybe you get it for a kid for their first phone and you don't even give them a SIM card. In the time since I bought the phone, it has dropped to $92 on Amazon if you pay attention. You do get to choose whether to buy it with AT&T's crapware on it or T-Mobile's crapware, which is nice too. But for some reason, the T-Mobile one is going for $129. I think if you go to their individual websites, it's more expensive. If you go through Amazon, it's cheaper. And, of course, there's a link in the show notes if you want to buy one. And if you go to Microsoft, it was $100 for a while. Now it's $130. Anyway, pay attention and look for the lowest price. I think, and don't take my word at this, but I'm pretty sure AT&T and T-Mobile are interchangeable. So I think you could get the $92 one, AT&T one on Amazon, and use it on T-Mobile. But absolutely check first on that before listening to me. I got to tell you, I'm as surprised as you are that I really like the Nokia Lumia 635 running Windows Phone 8.1. And you can quote me on that. Wait, Footy Foot. That smells like somebody I know. Who came in here? Yeah, it smells like Guy here. How are you, Guy? How is it we can tell when it's Guy? Old nickname. Guy was a gangsta. Guy, did you do your Ice Bucket Challenge? I saw Gaz's, but I don't remember seeing Guy respond. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Nice. So I would like to know. And you know who else has been curiously silent? I counted on the three, Guy, Gaz, and Nightwise, to do up the Ice Bucket Challenge well. But for some reason, the only one to respond appears to be Gazmaz. Nightwise hasn't even responded to me. He's hiding. I thought maybe something awful had happened to him because I hadn't heard from him in so long, but he's off tweeting away, talking to other people. All right. Let's see. We want to do a duplicate of this track. So this will be Charles. And we will put Charles right here. Not yet, because I'm a freaking nut. Yes, exactly. If you want to get somebody on the show to talk about Excel, I'm going to talk to Liam Mervin on Twitter. He'd be happy to come on, I'm sure. Yeah, maybe. Brett's doing his tomorrow. Cool. Make sure tell me when you do it. I want to see your make sure you at me or something so I get to watch it. I want to see that, Brett. That'll be awesome. Phone 8.1, and you can quote me on that.
Hello, Allison. This is Charles Goucher from the Silicon Valley Mac User Group. I heard your recent review on episode number 485 of the Jabra Sport Plus Bluetooth earbuds, and since I recently bought my second pair of them, I thought I'd give you my own findings. I went looking for a pair with a few specific desires. I wanted to listen to podcasts and audiobooks with very little music use, so sound quality doesn't have to be high. I want something where I can hear the outside world rather than isolating it out, so in-ear buds really don't work well. And finally, I want something that I can keep on my ears for most of the day. The Jabra Sport Plus fits the bill on all counts. Sound quality is reasonable. It's not great, mainly because the buds sit close to your ears but don't actually sit in ear. Even so, I find the bass projection on the Jabras to be far better than the Jaybird Blue Buds. Pretty much a match for your own findings. Phone calls are very good, and the microphone is clear enough that you can be understood while talking.
I should have that ever so clever Guy Searle on. I should. Guys, oops. What did I just do? There you go. All right. He's really funny, but looks hard. Everything nice. Oh, plug. Okay, I got you, Steve. Interesting. All right, here we go.
And I'll be listening on my Jabras, of course.
Well, thanks, Charles. It's nice to have our conclusions verified. I wondered if I or we were nuts because we weren't in love with the Jaybirds like everyone else. I'd like to mess with everything right now, though, and talk about a third set of Bluetooth headphones. We've talked about the $130 Jaybird Blue Buds and then the Jabra Sports Plus $60 headphones. But what if even that price is too steep for you? This week I've been testing the Avantri Jogger Sports Bluetooth headphones that will run you a mere $38 on Amazon. To review my requirements, I want something for running and working out at the gym that will stay put on my head and have acceptable audio for, spoken voice podcast listening. They have to be comfortable and not too fiddly. The Avantri headphones do not have any flangy kind of things at all to fit into your ear like the Jaybirds or Jabras. Instead, they have a stiff but flexible cable between the two sides that goes around your ears and then behind your head. The headphones themselves go just inside your ear and have this large disc that kind of covers most of your ear. It looks like an ear cup, but it actually just sort of sits out in space above the earbud that goes into your ear. No fiddly bits at all. And the part that goes around your ear doesn't even actually need to grab hold of your ear to stay in place. The wire is stiff enough that they just sort of compress a bit on your head and stay there. Of the 3 headphones I've tested, they stay snugly in place better than all of them. The audio is better, way better, than my experience with the probably defective Jaybirds, but this does make the speakers sound as though they're kind of in a box. Not echoey exactly, just kind of muted. Definitely acceptable for my spoken voice podcast, but an audiophile would pretty much go screaming running away from the Avantri headphones. One other annoying downside to the Avantris is that they have a proprietary USB charging cable. It's regular USB on one end, but a pin connector on the other end that goes into a tiny, tiny little hole in the headphones. If I lose that charging cable, that's pretty much $38 down the toilet. Included in the box with the headphones is a diagram demonstrating where to put your phone to avoid dropouts. They show the controlling headphone is on the right side, so they tell you must put your phone in your right pocket or in an armband on your right side. Now, actually, the Jobbers said the same thing, and I think Charles did a great job of explaining that Bluetooth has problems going through your water-based body. Unfortunately, pretty much anywhere I put my phone other than carrying it in my hand, I have awful dropouts. It mirrored my experience with the Jabras. I do not know why Steve has little to no problem with dropouts, but I do. I guess my message to you is that your mileage may vary. Perhaps the Bluetooth is just weaker on my phone. Perhaps my new iPhone 6 will have better luck. I tested the Avantris using my iPad at the gym, and they worked brilliantly. I'm always fighting the cord between my iPad and my head as I bounce around in the elliptical cross trainer, so having Bluetooth headphones for this application will be fantastic. And of course, it's not going through my body, so I had no cutouts at all. I have to say the biggest plus of the Avantri is that they were the most comfortable of the 3 headphones I tested. They're so light that they don't pull on you at all, and not having anything actually grabbing my ear was such a relief. No problem with my large sunglasses either. They do include 3 little sets of spongy covers for the part that goes into your ear, but even without them, it wasn't too bad. After an hour walking with them, they did get on my nerves, so I added the spongy things, and it really, really helped. I don't think there are headphones on the planet that won't bother me after an hour, so I'd call the Avantris a success in the comfort category. They also win as the least fiddly in terms of getting them into or onto your ears. You pull them apart, wrap around your head, and let go, and they pretty much go right into the correct spot on your ears. Now, I don't find the controls for volume and start and stop and that sort of thing, their multifunction button, it's not perfect. For example, just tapping up on the volume goes to the next track. It doesn't increase the volume. So you have to find it and kind of hold it to get the volume up. So I'm pretty much using start stop on it, and that's all. If you're looking for some Bluetooth headphones that will get the job done with acceptable audio quality for the price of a week's worth of lattes, I can recommend the Avantri Jogger Sports Bluetooth headphones for your podcast listening needs. All right. Gonna get hooked on this for sure. All right, Nuris, one of us. Hang on, I'm gonna go get the headphones so you can see them. So these are the headphones, and they're just kind of springy. That's the whole thing. And this is the left side. The left side just has, oh, I wonder if that's something. Oh, I bet those buttons mean something. Maybe those are volume. Shoot, now that I look at it. Huh. Maybe that's next, and this one's up, down volume. I might be a moron. Hang on. We might have to read the instructions again. They shouldn't be this hard. $38. I mean, you can have fun for $38, right? That's a good deal. Okay, the instructions are really teeny. Oh man. Yep, volume's on the right. Okay. All right, I'm going to have to go back and modify my blog post on this because while I was sitting here showing the live show, the Avantri headphones, remember how I said that the up-down volume thing seemed to go to next instead of going to volume? Turns out the volume controls are on the left, not the up-down buttons on the right. So I'm going to go back and edit that and make sure it's okay. So anyway, it looks like up-down volume probably works just fine. Is that a fan? Can you hear the fan, Kirshen? I was hoping you guys couldn't hear it. It's 81 degrees in my room. Never read the instructions. Actually, this afternoon I did, because I was thinking every time I hit those buttons, it would go forward a track. And technically, I didn't write that in the blog post anyway, so it's fine. Nobody knows that. Oh, I'm going to take my headphones off and show you how these work. Oh, you can see it. You can see the fan? Oh, there. Right there. Yep. All right, so you take them like this, and you just kind of bend them like this, and you go like that around your head, and then that's it. No fiddling at all. See? Woo! Now what I've been doing is putting it under my hair, which is kind of nice, and then it doesn't pull on my hair. I get, my hair's all wet because I just took a cold shower because it was so hot. Okay, so the ear thingies, he says, show you. There's what they look like. Looks really big, but compared to the size of my ear, and that's the little foam thingies. That's all you've got. They just sit right on there. I think they're awesome for $38. That Atmo. Ooh, a weather thing. All right. Left an empty chair. I know, it's scary. How is the low end with these headphones, Al? I want a Bluetooth headset, some nice bass low end. No, Dan, these are terrible for that. Don't even think about it. I haven't found any Bluetooth headphones that have good low-end bass at all. They're just absolutely horrible for that. That's the worst. The last thing in the world I would do with them is listen to quality audio. Like I said, this is just good for the little spoken word audio. All right, here we go. You know what I love? When normal people in normal conversations talk about Clarify with me. Now, I guess I'm stretching it calling Dr. Gary, our memory expert, a normal person, but work with me here. We're traveling down the highway and she asked me how to do something on the Mac or iOS, but she stops me just as soon as I start telling her the answer. She says, "Oh, just make a Clarify document for me, will you?" It was awesome. I think for a lot of people, or at least the circles I run within, immediately think of Clarify when they want to know how to do something. Whether you use it to help your family, help your friends, help your coworkers, wow your boss, who probably needs a lot of help, or heck, even to help you remember how to do things just for yourself, Clarify is awesome. There really is nothing else in the market that competes with Clarify for making a series of screenshots with text and annotations to clarify instructions for you. Check it out at clarify-it.com. There, I went real short because I've been going kind of long lately. How's that? All right, Kevin, take your ears off. I'm excited all the players in the chat room. This is fun. Let's see, which one is it? It's this one. Chat, there we go. Hey, who was it that predicted that beer was going to kick in? Because it's kicking in a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Let's see. Okay, maybe about there. Clarify-it.com. Is that a little fast, Steve? How is that, Steve? It sounded like a little bit too quick, Steve. Do it again. All right. It.com. Yeah, I think it's too quick. I'm going to move it out a little bit. Too fast. How's this? It.com. That's a little bit. Are they A2DP compliant? How would I know? That's a good question, Joel. I don't actually know the answer to that. I do believe that since I can play audio out of my iPhone from it, that means they're A2DP, doesn't it? All three of them? Because I know that was the difference with our cars didn't have A2DP, and they could play cell phone calls, but they couldn't play audio from podcasts or, from the music player. Quick, Steve, take your shot at tequila. Great. Let's do a symbols check, Steve. Well, it's that time of the week again. It's time for Chit Chat Across the Pond, and Bart Busschots is back with us today. How are things in Ireland today, Bart? Oh, he says it's too quick. All right, I like it about there. Try it one more time. Well, it's that time of the week again. It's time for Chit Chat Across the Pond, and Bart Busschots is back with us today. This is fun. Steve can get immediate gratification because he's actually in the Hangout with me, so he's hearing things faster than you guys are, which is kind of cool, so he can give me the feedback right away. So this is kind of good. I just say the S word. Okay. Oh, are things in Ireland today, Bart?
I believe the phrase is wet and windy.
Wet and windy.
Our weather forecaster is promising something I've never heard of before. Tropical weather for next week.
Ooh, so hot, wet, and windy?
I think that's what tropical means.
Ew.
I'm awaiting developments. So far, it's just wet and windy, but we shall see.
Well, I couldn't be happier. We went to Sequoia and Kings Canyon this weekend, and the weather forecast said it was going to be 95 degrees, 97 degrees, and then 100 degrees when we were there. Turned out to be
hotter.
Yeah, it turned out to be like in the 70s in Kings Canyon, and maybe smidge into the low 80s in Sequoia. So, woohoo!
And is that just because you were at an altitude?
I guess, but I mean, you would have thought Sequoia.
Well, right, they don't assume people live underground, so they should really give temperatures for at ground level.
You would think, but it is kind of hilly there, so that must have helped us, but it shouldn't have helped us that much. But anyway, enough with this week in weather.
Well, hopefully you got some nice pickies I can look forward to on Flickr.
I might have a couple. I haven't had a chance. Good. We were actually without internets for the entire week and no cell service. So
those electromagnetic waves don't go around those corners and down into those canyons?
Apparently not. And GPS was a little dodgy too. So other than that, it was an electronics-free week, which was kind of fun actually.
I was wondering why you were so quiet.
Yeah, really. And had I known, I would have said goodbye.
Fair point.
All right, let's see. You wanted to give a slight correction from last week, right?
Yeah, well, correction is maybe too strong a word, but we were sort of, messing around. It may have been a pre-show. It may have been during, it was a throwaway comment about the difference in speed between spinning hard disks and solid-state hard disks, and it was in relation to a question asked in the community where the G+ community, where someone was having this horrible. They took out their SSD. And then their Mac was taking literally 30 seconds until the Apple logo came up, and we sort of joked, well, look at how slow spinning hard disks are.
I think it was slightly, by the way.
Oh. Yes, that was it. There was slightly more to it than that. Yes, they're slow, but they're not that slow. And the reason was because by removing the drive, Bob hadn't told OS X that it should now boot from the other disk. And so OS X was starting up, looking for the disk it was told to look for, waiting 30 seconds to see if anything happened, figuring out nothing did happen, and then saying, oh, well, I guess I'll use the other one.
I never changed that when I swapped out. I took a Mac that I'd put an SSD in, and then I turned around and gave it to Kyle, and I put the old spinning hard drive in. I never told it. Oh, but the spinning drive had the OS.
Yeah, so it didn't change.
Where was his OS?
Right, it all depends on whether the drive you're booting from is on the same physical port on the motherboard.
Oh, and since I put it right in the back in the same place, it was okay?
I would assume so, or else, yeah, because basically the motherboard is going to, the BIOS is going to say boot up from hard disk number 0 or hard disk number 1. And if there's nothing at 0, because let's say he had it so that he was booting off 1, which is not the default.
Okay, I'm going to stop the live recording because Steve and I are experimenting with something. We just invited Kevin into the Google Hangout. So there's Kevin on the right-hand side of the window. There is a group chat that you might be able to talk to us. I removed you from the broadcast because I don't want to make complete chaos with the video. But let's see, there I am back. So I wanted to just see. Steve asked whether other people would be allowed to have the real-time access. I don't know how practical that is because I think you can only have 8 people. Okay, Kevin is now in the chat on the side. So Kevin, you're probably hearing me 8 times now because you've got me on your Mac and your iPhone and your iPad and a 27-inch cinema display. But it was just an experiment to see who else. So now you're hearing me live. Wow, did more people come in? Timothy Gregoire is in. Wow, we do have the band back together big time here. Timothy, did you see Will is here? Will hasn't been here in forever. Wait, I didn't mean to tease you with the thing with Kevin, but it was just an experiment to see if we can invite other people in that we needed to have maybe have live access for some reason or another. So you're seeing GarageBand? Okay, you should be done with GarageBand by the time you hear my voice here. Let's see, where are we? Whee! There we go. Oh, wow, it's still an hour and 8 minutes. Good, good, good. Okay, so let me, here we go.
Happy computing.
Well, I thought that was a blast, and Bart and I just actually sat down. We broke off that recording, and we started up another recording. So we've already recording Taming the Terminal, which I think will be on next week, depending on how things work out. But anyway, we had a lot of fun doing 2 recordings in spite of our Skype dropout problems. Well, that is going to wind us up for the week. Many thanks to the makers of Clarify over at BlueMangoLearning.com. Please go over and buy a copy of Clarify. Kevin has bought 7 of them, I think, so far, just to show solidarity with the show. Don't forget to send in your dumb questions. When's the last time we had a good dumb question? Oh, actually, you know what? Somebody sent a dumb question in, and I haven't responded to them yet. It came in while I was on the trip, and I haven't answered them yet, so I do need to get back to them. Anyway, do send those questions, comments, and suggestions to Allison@podfeet.com. Follow me on Twitter and app.net over at Podfeet. And do check out the NosillaCast Google Plus community. I'm posting links to the blog posts when they come out during the week. So I think 3 blog posts came out today early on. If you ever want to get a jump on things and read things ahead of time, it's a lot of fun. And still getting a lot of good tech support calls going back and forth, people helping each other out. To get to the NosillaCast Google Plus community, it's super easy. Podfeet.com/Google Plus. Everything's podfeet.com/whatever you think it might be. So go check that out. If you want to join in the fun of the live show, we had so much fun tonight. We got the band back together. We got so many of the old players, the new players. We got new people. It's been an absolute good time. I want to say hi, a big shout out to Nuris, who came for the first time. I think Dan tricked her into coming, but we had Will was back. I haven't seen Will in forever, and Timothy was back after a long time, and Jim Sewell. We just and the regular primetime players were all in there. So anyway, if you want to join in that fun of that live show, head on over to podfeet.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic Nosilla castaways. Thanks for listening, and stay subscribed. Oh, you're in a party dorm, Timothy? Oh my gosh. Why did they do that to you? That's crazy. Oh, Kevin, take your ears off. We're going to be playing with the audio here for a second. There's one. Okay, you can put your ears on now. Real time is cool. You know, I think you can put up to 8 or 10. Anybody else want to try the real time just for fun right now? If you're in, let's see, I'd need to be friends with you already in Google Plus, I think, for it to work. All right, I'm going to add Michelle then because her video just froze. How did I do that? There it is. All right, let me see if I can find her. Michelle. There she is. All right, I'm going to add her. Invite. There we go. Michelle, you got an invite to add Go Real Time if you want to. Will, it's been a long time since you've been back. Fall is here. Nuris. Okay, so Nuris, I think we would have to I would have to know your full name. And let's see. Oh, there is Michelle is there. I'm hiding from broadcast, though. I can bring you all on at the end if we want, just for grins and giggles, but let me see where we are with all of this. Oops, wrong window. That beer's kicking in, you guys. No doubt about it. Is that right? I'm in engineering school, so every dorm is an engineering dorm. Nice! How's that sound there? 486. Stephen, Is that show number 486? Steve and I had a bowl. There we go. Nurse Coronado. Yeah. Well, let me go see if I can find you. See how that works. What did I do? Oh, I pushed this plus button. I wonder if I'm not. There you are. Wait a minute. There's 3. One has a picture, so I'm going to guess it's the one with the picture. Hopefully. All right. For 3 of you, chose the one with a picture. Okay, so you guys are called in now. I'm going to keep working. And let's see. Glue these together. Hit join. Oh, you're not watching the thing anyway. Gotta go, peeps. Bye, Rose. Send more pictures of you with your little friends there. Man, you know, you should really consider working with children. You look like you get energy and happiness out of being with little kids. Those pictures you sent, Rose sent me pictures on the side of her with a little 11-month-old, and you can just tell the joy that Rose and the little girl are getting out of it. You should find opportunities to be with little kids more. I think it would make things happy. All right, what did he say yes about? Kevin said yes about something. Oh, the invite. Yeah. Okay. Is there still a lag contest? Ooh. Looks like based on other people's responses, I'm still a contender. You know, we haven't done the lag contest. I forgot about that. That's been so long. How did we used to play that? I would say goodbye, and then everybody would count or something. It's been so long. All right, I'm exporting. I'm going to unmute from show and broadcast. All right, Nuris, Kevin is shown in broadcast, and now Nuris is shown in broadcast. Or Michelle is shown in broadcast. No, Nuris didn't say yes. You guys, I think you have to unmute yourselves if you want to be on video there, Kevin and Michelle.
Hi.
There's Michelle.
Hi.
All right. Steve says even he'll come on, and he said
Oh,
specifically
wow.
not to bring him on broadcast. So, Kevin, I think you have to, there. Whoever talks should win.
Hey, Michelle. Hey, Steve.
Allison.
All right.
My cat who walked by every once in a while.
There we go. All right.
Sorry, so close. That's about the safest bet right now. I wasn't aware we were going to do video.
Well, I can mute you from broadcast if you want, or you can. I wonder if you can kill video too if you wanted to.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know about you guys, but I personally find the video broadcast where they got a whole bunch of people on Google Plus, Google Hangouts, I find them really annoying because there's all this background noise, kind of like right now where we've got a lot of background noise going. So
No, that's my kids.
You're rotten children.
They're laughing. They think it's funny.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, why am I hearing them though? How do we join this? Tim, you wanna come in? I'm inviting people one by one if they want to be real time into it. Let's see. There you are. All right, I'm gonna add you. There, Timothy, you've got an invite if you want to come in. You would count, and we would say the last number we heard only worked because Ustream cut off the broadcast without considering the lag you built up. Yeah, I think the lag, like it's just a delta. Everything just moves over by that amount, so I think it still ends at the same amount. But we could try it, Will. Let me in. Oh, okay. Footyfoot wants in. What's his real name? All right, we'll let one more in.
I thought that was Guy. No?
Of course it is. Pretending I don't know who he is. There we go. Yeah, it's going to be anarchy if Guy comes in here, though. All right, so I am creating the mix down right now.
Well, where's Tesla?
Tesla! All right. Well, we're almost done here. We got 3 minutes till we're out of time. Oh, lordy, there's Guy coming in.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Where's Tesla?
Oh, Steve's got Tesla. Good. Guy Searle has used the Hangout toolbox. Oh, I'm shocked he's going to do something funny. All right, it looks like we have exported successfully. So I think, man, that beer is kicking in. Did I export to where I think I did? There we go. All right, now I'm going to start my convert.
Here's the T-Dog.
Tesla the Wonder Dog. All right. Well, I think the show is degraded. It is 5:58 p.m. I'm going to kill the Hangout on air. I think you guys will be able to stay and chat with me, though, if you want to hang out for a few seconds after we cut off. But I'm going to cut off Alpha Geek Radio because I have a commitment to stop.
Damn it, what is the problem here?
Guy, that's good. Oh, you're using Cam Twist.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you guys
There
hear?
we go.
You guys can hear everybody, right?
I don't
Yes.
mean to.
Yes, we
I'm
can.
not trying to.
No, but I want to know if the people who are not in the Hangout can actually hear the other people. Well, I am going to cut us off, though, so I'm going to say goodbye to Alpha Geek Radio. Goodbye, Alpha Geek Radio. Thank you for coming. Enjoyed having you here tonight. Okay, next I am going to cut off the, let's see, so that is Butt. And next I am going to cut off, who do I see next? How about Icecast? Goodbye to Dan and everyone else who is on the app. Install.
forgot about the app.
I'm going to stop.
God,
the
I can't get my
broadcast app.
camera to work.
You know, are you new at this? Okay, so I think if I kill.
Oh, so you can hear me.
Yes,
oh,
we can.
unfortunately we can.
Oh,
We're getting a Wirecast thing, so I think have you got not Wirecast, Cam Twist. I think you've got your Cam Twist radio
Well,
going.
how the hell do I turn that off?
it should be in your browser window.
Or you could kill the. Oh yeah. At the top of the window, she's right.
Right.
Pick your camera.
And I can turn it on or I can turn it off.
No, go to settings, the little gear, and use the pull down to grab the right camera.
Right.
Ah,
Guys new at this whole podcasting thing.
There you go.
Oh!
yay!
Oh!
There with screen.
About freaking time.
So when's your Ice Bucket Challenge again? Or if you've already written the check, you're good.
Well, I haven't written the check yet.
Yeah, you're supposed to do that in 24 hours. But I figure
Wait,
it's
hold
worth
on.
waiting for with you, right?
Damn it. Hold on a second.
Hey, watch your mouth. It's a clean show.
Oh.
You are live broadcasting on my show right now, guy.
I know.
And watch your mouth.
Sorry.
Potty mouth. All right,
I am
Timothy.
hearing old audio at the same time.
Well,
So odd.
close your browser windows. You're probably still hearing the show.
I did.
All right, Will, I am looking forward to hearing how your
There we go. Jeez.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing how the party dorm goes for you. I do hope you'll keep me apprised of how that works out.
They seem to be calming down in the hallway now. We'll see
Oh,
what
there
happens.
you are. Oh,
It took
hi.
a while. Yeah, it took a while to get down the hallway. People, apparently GameCube's going out in the lobby, and like all the engineering dorms, 120 people. This one's 435.
Oh
Wow.
my God.
Is that all?
Yeah,
That's
all.
awesome.
And
You are
we're right
definitely
across
an
from
engineering school.
football and apartments. All the craziness is over here.
I like it. But I'm glad. But you're in an engineering. You're not in the engineering dorm, or you are in the engineering dorm.
I'm not in the engineering dorm. Engineering dorm is on the other side of campus.
But you're in engineering.
Yes,
Oh, phew. For a minute I thought you were going into something where you're going to have to flip
engineering.
burgers for a
it's a
living.
new program.
Mm.
What kind of
No,
engineering?
that's a
Cyber.
liberal arts degree.
Cool.
What kind did you say, Timothy?
Cyber engineering. It covers a little bit of hardware, a little bit of software, and then a lot of security too. So,
Nice.
they're in this the fourth year they're doing it, so they're still working through working some of the stuff out with it. But it's really neat program, except the fact that they made me buy a Nexus 7 and install Windows 8.
Oh well. Hey,
Yeah,
at least
No,
it's.
I think of that as engineering.
Yeah.
So Timothy, I can help you get a job when you get out, no doubt. That is a hot field.
We'll see. Definitely some interesting plans when I get out, so we'll see what ends up happening, considering I may end up in school longer after I get out of here. I don't know yet.
Yeah, that'd be fun to have a master's in that too.
Tim, you could get into pen testing.
My dad's an electrical engineer, and he's trying to retire and trying to get people coming out of tech schools and stuff to train to do his job. And they're coming out and knowing little to nothing of what he learned when he was in like a tech high school. So it's
That's why I didn't go to LSU.
a field that you could get to.
Because LSU would have been less than a tech high school. Is that what you're saying?
Oh gosh, LSU, they did too much partying. I was most of my friends, I went to church at LSU and kind of stuff. As I live near Baton Rouge, back at home, and I was trying to get to church last week and had to go down Fraternity Sorority Road. They had to shut the street down so the sorority girls could play in the streets and all kind of stuff. Just it was all kind of crazy.
Pixar didn't happen.
You know, there are people on this call who would not consider it a tragedy that you were unable to get to church because the sorority girls were in the way.
Right.
Oh, I backed up, went the other way around. It was all right. But I had other people from my old church in the car that I was trying to. They were going with me that night. Like, oh gosh, they don't need to see all this. Such a 9th and 10th graders like, oh no.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, I liked your doggy there, Michelle. Who was that?
That was Pixel.
Pixel. What an awesome name.
She had a bunch of freckles on her nose when we adopted her, and I said they look like little pixels. And
So when she's happy, is she pixelated?
Uh,
Oh.
Does she bite? Does she bite?
oh, that's terrible.
Sorry.
Does your dog bite?
Look at Kevin.
That
Do you want to know what's really sad? Every single person on this call got that joke.
There's a wall right here. Yep.
No one had to have it explained to them. That's really
Well, that was
pathetic.
the one with Steve. Martin, right?
Steve.
Pretty bad.
Hey, I want to see some of the kids, Kevin. Make one of them come over and say hi to me.
All right, hang on.
Is that John behind you?
Nope, that's Sarah.
Sarah.
Emily, come here and say hi.
Oh, Emily.
Emily's, come around here. Say hi.
Emily? How are you?
There's Miss Allison. There's
Oh, you
Mr.
had
Steve.
you had her at Pat's house. Wasn't she at Pat's house when you were there?
No, those were Melissa's kids.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah, no. The Sarah's sitting over there on the computer doing her schoolwork, and then John stretched out here on the floor watching Naked and Afraid.
What?
Oh, what's that? I said this was a clean show.
No, it's on the Discovery Channel where they take a man and a woman, they strip them down and throw them out in the wilderness someplace.
Strip them.
They're naked.
Dating naked.
What?
wilderness naked.
This is on National Geographic?
Discovery Channel.
Discovery?
This
Wow.
is why I did not bring a TV with me to college.
It's hilarious the stuff they get into. Yeah, they were in the swamps of Louisiana one time, Tim, and they've been
No.
just all kinds of weird places, and they just send them out there with nothing on. They get a camera, they each get one survival item like a machete and a fire starter or something,
Hey, Pixel.
and that's what happens.
I'm sure the camera is not showing them naked, though.
Well, it blurs out
The bits.
fronts. It doesn't blur out the back part. It just blurs out the fronts.
Okay, look at the time. It's 6:06 p.m. I think it's time to get going. It's degraded. All
Sorry.
right, guys. Well, thanks for coming. I'm going to stop the live broadcast now.
All right.
See you guys.